if my vibrations, yes, does not take that person over the phone, on Skype, whatever, I'm not working with them. Because that would mean that I would be giving of my energy.
Compromise.
Compromise. I don't do compromise. Do you understand? I don't do compromise mainly because it drains my energy.
Most definitely.
Yes? Nobody's paying me. They're only paying for the session. When I tell them the front price and then ask them to go and have a look at the website, they come back and they say, oh man, you're too dear. But I will tell you, I get that mainly from our own people.
Yeah, because they're looking
comes
freeness.
to everybody else, there is no question. Because all they want is the quality expertise. That is what they're looking for. So there's a psychology in that in itself.
Yeah.
You see, psychology is everything we think and everything we don't think, to be frank. Yeah? So psychology is one set of prospects that we can possibly use in sessions. The other is philosophy. I have a saying, I do write philosophies every day, and I do have this one. Any individual on this planet, irrespective of race, creed, color, and all of that, that do not see through, what we're aiming to do as coaches. I'm talking about esteemed coaches now. I'm not talking about those that have to use a formula. And this is the difference between the black, if you like, Nubian Kushite. Yeah, I am that.
This is the reason why
Yeah.
I specified to you earlier on.
Yeah.
I wanted to hear from you individually of how you think.
Yeah,
You understand?
That's the way I think. I
Yes,
think that
yes.
it would be very unfair on me, having studied so hard, to take in all this stuff, formulate my own questionnaires, and so forth and so on. Because there's only one thing I do, and that is to elicit information from my client.
Oh yeah, that's what it's all about.
And feeding back to them that I don't have dozens of tools.
Without information,
I-
you ain't getting nothing.
I don't have, but it's information just speaking about information.
That's right.
So my coaching is conversational,
That's right.
but I can elicit whatever
If
I
you
want
have a
from
person
anyone.
who doesn't talk back, you ain't got nothing to go with. If you understand what I'm saying,
Simple.
there's nothing.
It's really simple.
It is. It
Yeah,
is.
but some people want to drag it out
Mm-hmm.
because
They love
if
it.
things are not, here we go about the black and the white situation again with psychology.
Yeah.
At a level as a coach, all right, and you do have to know. My specialism is, like I said, relationships, but it bears on stroke behaviors. So according to the person's behavior, yeah, lots of people are depressed out there, and they don't even know because they're wearing a mask.
That's right.
They're wearing a mask to say, I don't want anybody else to know I'm in problems.
Or is that similar to a brick wall?
I would say it's being able to change one's face. So I put on a mask, I'm a different face, isn't I?
Yeah, man.
You're not really seeing me. So when you are looking at a human face
Yeah.
and they're putting things out as if it's like this, but I know it isn't
Yeah.
because there's no balance going on. I heard brother talking about balance in martial arts. Absolutely perfect. The mentality status is triggered by what is fed to the psyche. It's as simple as that. And then through habit, and I'll come back to habit in a minute for a very good, more than a good reason, through habit, that individual or those individuals have something that sets like concrete, and it's called mindset.
Can't change.
How can you change concrete? I mean, you're going to knock it down. That's fair enough,
Yeah,
you know.
You're gonna do that.
So what I'm saying is, these masks,
Yes.
people wear them every day. Probably people we know,
Yes.
people we don't know, even ourselves sometimes are wearing a mask.
I think there's sometimes you could see it when you come up to somebody and you look at them, you see it straight away.
Yes.
You're thinking to yourself, What is this all about?
Yes. So I never listen just to a language, because a language can carry you off the path.
Yes.
What I do is similar to going on a beach and seeing a lot of footsteps. Do you or Brother Aston normally put your foot in the steps that's already there, in the footprints? What makes you don't do that?
That's my own footsteps. I want to walk in my own path.
Brother Aston?
You know something? There's a thing that I do on the way into work. There's a patch of grass outside the front. And I love the feel of the grass underneath my
You
feet
never
before.
asked you that question.
No, wait a minute. He's asking me if I walk in the same footsteps.
No,
And
it's sad.
no, but theoretically now, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna let
Every-
you finish
every-
off,
every-
but
everybody-
could you please help me and the listeners?
Yeah.
Because I did this for a particular purpose.
Yeah.
So if you give me about the sand first, and then we
Okay,
can
then
just
in the
come back to you.
in the sand, no, I like to break my own sand
Okay.
thing, yeah,
Most definitely.
right.
And
But
that's-
with
yeah.
the workplace, they have the pathway. Everybody seems to walk on this pathway, would go round and this. But I like to take this. They say it's a shortcut, but it's not, because I like the feel of the grass underneath my foot before going to work.
Good.
You understand?
That's
Right?
fantastic. Yeah, that's fantastic. But that's exactly I'm showing you now. So you're not wearing a mask, and neither is Brother Lynda.
No, man,
You
no,
see,
man. And they know
you
it.
are clear in your intention. You are clear on your strategy, and you are clear and sure-footed. So you are happy with your own footprints.
Most definitely.
Because on the beach, if you step in somebody else's footprint, you could be going into danger and don't even know. Maybe
Like-
that
like-
person
like-
had
like
only
that-
just drowned
Like that animal, the lemon,
The
just run over the
over the
yeah.
edge. Yes. And I'm glad you said that, Brother Aston, because it brings me straight to the other point. We've all heard of the Pied Piper,
Yeah.
right? It's the lemmings again, yeah? And they followed the tune, and it took
Right
them
over
over
the
the cliff, all drowned.
Yeah, man,
Yeah?
yeah, man.
What's different to Jones in Guyana?
Yeah,
Way back
yeah,
when.
Yeah.
When
Ju-
he actually got individuals to poison their children and then themselves. And he was non-compos mentis. Had nothing but insanity into his brain. Right? So he was worse than any other serial killers we've ever heard of. Right? But he was deliberate. The other serial killers, some of them, I've heard lots of interviews with serial killers, and I want to tell you something, we can't agree with them, obviously. Yeah, and some of them don't have any feelings.
But the one thing with that serial killer,